Okay, so you saying I add up the atomic masses of the proton and the neutron, right? Mm-hmm. I sees that, but what do I do with the goddamn electron? Can I bring it over here?
Enrico Fermi'd roll over in his motherfucking grave if he heard that stupid shit. I mean, he just turned over ass up in your face.
Well, I'm building a highway back to the heart of things. No love left to walk back to the heart of things. So I'm pulling the puzzle back. All I'm sitting on.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of What the Hell Happened to Them? A title fight is brewing. That's right, this season, Eddie Murphy versus Jim Carrey. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is Joseph Craig Vekeman III.
How did you know I was a third?
I snooped into your birth records, Joe, via hacking. I'm a hacker now.
Hacking.
I'm a hacker.
Interesting.
Gene Hackerman.
Oh.
Yes.
Gene Hackerman. Not in many computer-based movies that man was.
Yeah, well, that makes sense considering when he worked.
Kind of before, after his time.
On the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is Come Sly With Me, the brand new reality TV show about Sylvester Stallone and a flight academy that he buys. And now we'll train people how to be a pilot. Come Sly With Me on the Learning Channel this week. I think it has to be called TLC now, in the same way KFC has to be called KFC for legal reasons. All right, Joe, what movie are we doing this week?
We watched the Farelly Brothers comedy, Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, that's why it's set in Rhode Island.
Wait, you didn't? Did you not stay for the credits? You're like, I'm done.
I mean, I was, but I wasn't. I was looking at all the people names and not...
Oh, you didn't see the Academy Award winner, Peter Farrelly, on there?
Perhaps you know this movie better by its international titles. The Nutty Police Officer, Mr. Robot, Nick, and Anger Management, the Pre-Make.
You always come prepared. You always got these.
What happens in this movie for people?
What happens? A nice guy cop with dissociative identity disorder must protect a woman on the run from a corrupt ex-boyfriend and his associates.
I had never seen this movie. Had you seen it before?
I've seen it once, maybe. I think so. It's been a really, really long time. I had the DVD.
Are you?
So I've definitely seen it, but
it has then of the movie.
It was probably around the same time I bought my Man on the Moon DVD.
Okay, you just needed some gems to fill the void in your life,
and you can tell how old these are and how recent I've watched them because they're on DVD.
DVD when the only special feature on them was interactive menus.
Yes, no, I could show you a little video of the interactive menus they had with the opening line on because they have the interactive menus where they do quotes of the movie while you're picking play scene selection. No real. You know what? There was a few bonus features on there. You get a commentary with the Farrellys.
A wealth of information, I'm sure. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing this movie about a white guy and a black dude. Who knows whenever I'll get to it, but. It could be funny.
Almost 20 years later after this. Yeah, so this movie went in many directions. I vaguely remembered it. I remembered Renee Zellweger pops in at some point.
Renee Zellweger, I wasn't used to her without an accent. It felt wrong.
Have you only seen Bridget Jones?
I think that's the only thing that comes to mind when I think of...
So you've never seen Jerry Maguire?
Oh, that's her? See, if you don't have an accent, you're just some blonde lady.
No, don't. I don't really care for Renee that much, but man, that was her role, and she earned it. That was good. Good movie. They
should have made 4 of those, but then maybe that would stand out more in my mind.
One is enough. One is enough.
Jerry Maguire Jr., Jerry Maguire's Diary, Jerry Maguire, The Scientology Years, something like that.
Jerry Maguire, The Edge of Reason. I liked seeing Anthony Anderson, a very young Anthony Anderson.
He just came back. We just had him in Life. He was popping off at this time.
That's true.
That was his debut.
I would say he pops a lot more in this for me because he's very funny in this.
Those characters are great, and thank God this movie has them because it's pretty much all I had to
Dad,
look
can we
forward
watch
to.
Richard Pryor?
Yeah.
Sure.
I just like them arguing about protons and neutrons and stuff. That was great.
Yeah, we got a bunch of fun character actors in here, like Chris Cooper, Richard Jenkins, Robert Forster.
Oh, yeah, Richard Jenkins of Eat, Pray, Love fame, and also that Whoopi basketball movie we did. I forget what it's called.
He's an Eddie?
I think, he's like the assistant coach on the team that she...
You know, it's so funny. I've watched these movies with you, like not with you, but like we've watched and talked about these movies, and yet those are not my references, my go-to references for these guys. I would say Richard Jenkins, I would say Shape of Water, 6 Feet Under.
Mildred Pierce.
I didn't see that.
Well, you know what? I saw Shape of Water. Forgot he was in there.
We saw that together.
I forgot. Totally out of my mind. I remember that a lot of that day. I remember it snowing when we were going outside of the Boston Theater. I remember thinking the movie wasn't super great, but... That's
rude. That was my birthday movie.
Richard Jenkins? Whew, not in there.
That was my favorite movie that year, and that was a tough year.
Yes, I remember. Hey, is Adam Sandler's wife in this movie? Was she one of the nurses
Jackie?
in the delivery room? Yeah.
I don't know. I'll look that up for you.
All right.
Give me 1 second.
The movie wasn't as offensive as I was expecting for a movie about a dude.
Bordering on real. I was like, I was so nervous. It's like teetering on the line.
My white knuckling, my 2-hour runtime. Like, don't do it.
Yeah, it's
don't
fucking
do it,
long. Why?
Not only was it long, it seems like it was a great deal longer, and they had to cut out crap. And that's why I got this fucking narrator going along the whole time and got one of the worst paced movies we've had in a long time.
I agree.
And the movie just ends. They're like, oh yeah, those bad guys, yeah, we caught them. It's done. I go, what? What?
Jackie is not in this movie.
Nah, right.
So I don't know who you saw.
The babies are being born. Like there's like 2 women around the doctor. One of them happened to look like her. But, you know, it's me, so it makes sense that it wasn't actually her.
Oh, I think one of them is either a sister or a wife because their name is Melinda Farelly.
You know who else was in this movie? Dennis Leary's uncle from Rescue Me.
So I was like, Dennis Leary? I was like, no. Oh, uncle. Okay. And then you were like, I was like, uncle. I was like, oh, from Rescue Me.
Yeah. I was on a roller coaster ride. I gave you there.
Yes. Lenny Clark. Looking at him right now. That guy, he scared the shit out of me on Rescue Me because he like had that one season where he lost like 150 pounds and he was just a really skinny guy. I'm like, this doesn't look right for your like your figure. I liked him as a big guy, but you know, be healthy. I like Carey with the stash at the beginning.
That's how you know he's a police officer.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets rid of it. I really like the opening. Like, I'm along for the ride because I'm like, I know where it's going. It's not like...
Well, to me, it seemed like we were doing the anger management because the limo driver is like accusing him of all the stuff that he's not doing, like almost trying to incent him into anger. He's like, well, no, I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Also, I thought his name was Shawty, but it's Shanti. So I was like, did they call him Shorty? Like, really? Like, that's what... But no. I was mistaken. Yeah. I was kind of dialed out for this one. I wasn't really into it. After like the first like half hour, I'm like, all right, we kind of left the Suns for a while. The
pacing is so bad, and it just seems that their movie maybe had been intended to be 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. And then the ending credits kind of confirms it. There's just so many cast people they're putting in there that didn't show up at all. They were like, oh, we got Anna Kournikova for this scene. And I go, why did you have that scene for you got it for 30 seconds?
A real, like, time capsule of someone who has not mattered in a long time.
And then the way the actors were reacting to her in that 30 seconds we did get, it implied there might have been, like, a bigger, deeper joke I'm not getting. And so I wonder, was that a 3-minute thing? And, like, it got cut out of everything but the essentials? So, and then, I think this movie, there's like there must be a crazy director's cut that's almost 3 hours. There's got to be the Apocalypse Now director's cut.
No, you almost said it. I want to see the hearts of darkness of this. What happened? So this sounds kind of crazy. I'm reading some stuff right now. One of the crazier things is that Jim Carrey and Renee Zellweger started dating during the making of this movie.
A reasonable pairing, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't seem crazy.
Seems weird.
I don't know. I think
he was just a weird guy. I don't know.
He's got like dead animals in his mansion
This
or something.
movie was dedicated to the memory of movie critic Gene Siskel.
Yes, I saw that. And you know what? If I were Gene Siskel, this is not a movie I'd want dedicated to me. Like, was this a movie he'd even like?
I don't know. He was.
Why did
they
he
were
do that?
both him and Roger were really weird about comedies. Like, I can't remember which one of them loved Baby's Day Out. I think it was Roger. And then, like, Siskel's, like, freaking out on him. He's like, why do you like this movie?
You fat, dumb fuck. What is wrong with you? I wish they put that. I want to see that episode.
Oh, Jack Black turned down the role of Charlie Bailey Gates. That's really weird. Yeah, because, like, the next year he'd be in Shallow Hal. So they really wanted him.
Yeah, I think it's like, did they think they couldn't get Jim? Or they just didn't want to deal with
They already
like,
worked
Jim?
with them in Dumb and Dumber. They got him on the map.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Jim, it feels like a surefire way to get yourself a hit. I don't know why you... And he... Okay, here's the deal. I didn't like the movie. I didn't think the premise worked, maybe because of all this weird pacing, but I also don't want a 3-hour version of it. But Jim Carrey, I think's physicality is at kind of the top of his game. And if he, in that frame of comedy, can't make this work, the movie just maybe could never work. Like, it's... Bill Belichick would try to get Tom Brady to do something, and when he couldn't get him to do it, he's like, well, if I can't get him to do it, maybe quarterbacks can't do this. It can't be done. So if Jim Carrey can't do this at this era in his career, I don't think the movie was ever going to work.
Yeah, I got a little more to that. So their first choice was Jack Black, as they wanted to find a starring vehicle for him. The Farelly brothers agreed to their suggestion, so they offered the role to Black. However, Black turned it down after reading the script because he wasn't interested in playing a character that has split personality disorder. After Black said no, the Farelly brothers then offered the role to Carey, to which he said yes and was cast in the role. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing really interesting there. Both Peter and Bobby consider this to be their worst film.
Worse than Shallow Hal.
Worse than the Heartbreak Kid remake they did with Ben Stiller.
Oh, I don't know that one. Well, I guess, like, Shallow Hal, maybe not great, but probably, if I'm remembering it correctly, feels like a full movie, unlike this one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's poorly made movie. I just think it's the way it treats people in the movie is really shitty.
Yeah. So we obviously don't agree with that, but they might, so they are doing that. But at least it's probably got a beginning, middle, and end, and it flows, presumably, in my memory. But this movie, it just feels like it start and stop. So, like, we got some bits, and then we loosely tied them together with some narration. Hopefully that'll kind of work out great.
Yeah, the narration. Was there just a lot of weird, like, music cues in this? Just, like, the soundtrack was just, I don't know, it was just very, obviously, just dated.
Didn't come that across that way to me, but I'm trying to think back. I can't remember any music in the movie.
Really?
No, I can't.
I sworn there was like, I know there's a Foo Fighters song because that is one of the special features on the disc. It was like, hey, it's Jim Carrey on a Foo Fighters song. Like he's like in the background, like doing Jim Carrey things in the music video. I'm like, okay.
I did appreciate that when he got into a split personality, it didn't become like the pseudo superhero thing. Like his split personality wasn't very good at like martial arts or super strong or something. He just was a different form of weirdo.
Yeah, he was just a real prick.
Yeah, he's a prick, but he's like, you think he's gonna like beat everybody up whenever they piss him off, but he's really bad at that. Like he's got like these weird poses and everybody just ends up beating him up anyway. And I thought that was a better way to do it.
The one that's really coming to mind right now is when he's in the grocery store and he pulls the cashier's microphone over to him and he's just like, price check on Vagisil or something like that. And he's just and he has like a bunch of like really gross terms. And moving on from that.
I did have a problem with
it's their shtick though.
When he would go into the other personality, like half the time I couldn't kind of hear or understand what he was saying. It was like the Batman Return problem. I'm just like, what? Can you say it a little
Batman
louder?
Returns. Why are you singling that one out? You mean The Dark Knight Rises? With Bane?
But Bane, they went. I'm just like, when who's the guy? Who's Batman? That guy.
Which one? There's so many Batmans. Which one are you talking about?
What did I say? What did I say?
Batman Returns is Keaton and the Burton one with Pfeiffer. That's like the best one.
What's Batman Begins?
Batman Begins. That's Bale, and
that's the problem.
That's Nolan's first one.
Yeah. Nolan. Bale. Yeah, Bale is like, hey, Batman, I'm gonna do this here. We're gonna get the criminals. Yeah, thanks, Commissioner Gordon. I'm gonna do it. I know it's the Joker. That's what Jim Carrey is sounding like when he's doing this alternate voice.
I like your Batman. Price check on aisle 6. So you mentioned you thought this was Jim Carrey's best physicality that he's had in a movie.
I'm not saying best overall, but it's a peak of it. Like, he really is. Okay. He's not phoning it in here. Like, when he's fighting himself on the bridge in the climax, and he's like throwing himself. He's doing the Fight Club thing to himself.
You mean he's doing the liar thing in the bathroom? Yeah. I'm kicking my ass. Yeah.
Obviously, we know he can do it, but he does it really well. And if, like, this is happening, and I'm like, I feel like I should be laughing here. He's doing this the way I want him to. Yeah. Clearly, it's the problem of the movie. Like, the movie just wasn't going to work. Like, I couldn't think. Jack Black wasn't going to make this work any better. Jack Black was probably going to make it worse.
Yeah, no. Jack is very hit or miss for me. Mostly miss.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack.
You're not going to watch him in Minecraft?
That movie's coming out, isn't it? Doesn't it come out, like, tomorrow?
Oh, really? That's quick.
Or is it? It's either tomorrow or next week. I don't know.
I don't think it's tomorrow because the AMC's not trying to get me to buy tickets yet.
Well, tomorrow I am going to see the new Steven Soderbergh movie. Yes, there has been 6 weeks since the last Steven Soderbergh movie in the theater. This motherfucker. I love him. Can't wait. And he's supposed to have another movie out by the end of the year. Bring it on, Steve.
Listen, he does all his movies by himself. It really does speed things up.
Yeah, like everyone was like saying how great Sean Baker did with his, like, he does all the editing stuff. Yeah, but like Soderbergh edits like while he's still filming one scene. Yeah. He's like already editing it on his laptop. Guy's just very quick.
Crazy man, yeah.
God, do we even want to talk about the breastfeeding scene?
Classic Farrelly.
Yeah, but like this is 2 years after Something About Mary, which I think is their peak. That's their best movie. Probably.
I just don't much care for them. Like, it's really just like, which movie can I tolerate the most? And it's certainly not Green Book.
Yeah. No, well, Green Book's only one of them.
So they got the guy that makes bad stories, but not the guy who makes bad jokes. That's how Green Book got ahead.
Because the other one did a basketball movie with Woody Harrelson about. Yeah, no, but
I don't remember that at all. But that's probably good.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. I was like, I like basketball. I like Woody. But yeah, they just kind of like, well, black licorice for me a little bit. But I do love Mary. That's a good one. So just a couple of things. Jim Carrey, the stunt where Jim throws himself out of the car was done on only one take.
Thank goodness for his bones.
Yes. The scene where Renee high kicks Jim over the railing and down the hill was done by Jim Carrey instead of a stunt double after many pleadings. He did a few takes, but they used the first one. A mattress was used for him to pop back into frame.
Didn't he do this on an earlier movie and he injured himself? Or am I thinking of somebody else on our podcast? Something happened in the Batman movie or some other, I don't know what movie it would have been.
Yeah, what's his like heavy stunt movies?
I know. All right. Well, bold of him. It was nice that the movie had a real cow.
Oh, the cow scene. Yeah, where yeah.
I could just imagine it being now and it looking really shitty CG. I'm like, oh, this movie's 25 years old and that cow still looks good. Well done, movie.
Yeah, if they had a CGI cow, that would have like really just ruined the movie. That would have brought down a whole star.
And you know what? That's how you know the movie's old. They used a real cow. Do you want to know how else this movie's old, Joe?
Tell me.
The only people who have cell phones are rich douchebags. It's still an era. Cell phones were rare, and it was a character note if you had a cell phone. Smoking pot is a crime.
Damn.
Pluto is a planet, and people are mad about it. That's how you know it's...
Hey, I believe Pluto is now a planet again, though.
No, what? No!
I think we went back on that a couple of years ago. I think we were like, let's give the little guy some credit. Can you imagine changing all those textbooks in school? What's that one over there? Don't just ignore that one. That's not real.
Gas was $1.13 a gallon. $1.13.
What we were alive.
I remember in the 90s it being like $1.25. That always stuck in my head.
It would only take 2 more years for gas to probably get really out of control. I wonder why.
Yeah.
It's like some crisis that was going on.
All right, you can smoke in a restaurant. You can smoke your cigarettes in a restaurant. Totally fine. Not for much longer, but you could do it in this movie, I guess.
I do remember when I was little, there was smoking and non-smoking sections in the restaurant, and it was not outdoors. And I'm like, what's the difference here? Because they're in the back?
Ultimately they figured that out. You can pay for hotels with cash. They don't let you do that anymore. Probably for reasons that came up in this movie. Lastly, how do you know this movie's old? People carry around physical photos. They have to have a wallet with physical photos of their loved ones in it, and they are not in a convenient mobile device.
Are you saying you don't?
In my wallet? No. I know what all my loved ones look like. I'm good.
Well, I'll send you another one of me so it's updated.
I don't want to see you now, beaten down by life, Joe. I want prime.
Wow.
I'm kidding. Joe, you're one of the people I remember the most. I see you every week. Every goddamn week I see you. I know what you look like.
Easy.
I'm playing, Joe. I'm playing, of course.
Let me tell you, the budget on this one was $51 million. Do you agree with that budget?
Well, if this movie's 3 hours, maybe, and Jim Carrey's taken...
But it's not 3 hours.
And what's Jim Carrey taken? Like 25 million? 20 million?
I would say he's taken at least 20.
Yeah, like it's most of it's going to him.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of actors you had to pay that weren't in this movie, so money just went everywhere. I get it.
Renee's a star, though. Her name is on the title. I would say the lasting legacy of this movie is the poster. Which, let me tell you, I have a story for this that I've been saving for a long time.
Oh, give it to me.
It's not a good story, but it's just one that haunts me. So it's just a little anecdote.
Give me this tale of Joe's past, Joe's seedy past.
I was much younger. I believe I was like probably 10 or 11 because that's when this movie came out. My dad, when I would stay with him on the weekends, he had this little room for me that became a room that this would be my room on the weekends. And for some reason, I had never seen the movie at this point because I was too young to watch this. It was a rated R movie.
Yep.
And I was 10. And my dad had a giant poster of this movie on my door in my room.
He wanted you to be one of the cool kids.
And the poster is Jim Carrey's face split in half. One side is like him doing a goofy smile, and the other side is a really sinister like glare, and it reads "From gentle to mental." And I would just look at that as I was going to bed every night when I would stay at my dad's house, and I'm like, I don't want to stay in this room anymore.
You would look at that poster the way Vince Vaughn looked at that water stain on his ceiling in True Detective season 2.
What a callback! I looked at the poster and I was like, I should walk the desert until I die.
Let me go on a very thoughtful metaphysical commentary about human existence.
Let's end this like hour and a half episode while I'm walking through the desert and the other actor in this show is going to run through the woods with his kid and get gunned down by
with his big fat ginger kid. You're looking at that Jim Carrey poster, you're like, yes, man or Superman. What is humanity's
I know you stand by that season, but I
don't.
I love Colin Farrell.
I don't.
Oh, okay, you turned on it now?
There are moments that are worth it, but not, I don't know.
It's so bad. That show fell off so hard.
Yeah, the show just doesn't know how to end. And even when they got rid of Nick Pizza, it's still...
Nick Pizza
Lotto. And...
Yeah. Pizza with a lotto.
Whatever his name is. And even the Arctic season that I did mostly like, again, at the ending I went like, you didn't fuck up the ending, but I also was just like, okay. I didn't really get much out of it. I wasn't like, all right, what a satisfying This just might be a problem with mystery stories. You spend so much time, you get all excited about the mystery, then you have to like unveil the mystery, and then you have to have the climax resolution. Mm-hmm. Like there's just, I don't know if it's that gap that's the problem or these resolutions haven't been interesting. I don't know. I like the third one, the Mahershala Ali one.
Yeah, that was good.
But now and again, the ending, I went like,
Yeah.
I'll watch the next one, but I will not be excited for the ending, and maybe that'll help demur my... But like, I go in knowing the ending's going to be bad. I can enjoy what I get until we're there, and just be like, oh, I'm going to enjoy these first 8 episodes.
You could do what I do, though, which is I watch up until I'm bored, and then I stop watching.
No, I can't do that. Like, even if it's a show I don't like Modern Family, like, once I start, I'm just like, I guess I'll keep going.
Wow.
There's only one show I ever, like, quit, and it was 2.5 Men, and it was because it just kept... I was, like, 7 seasons in, and I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't. I won't.
Terrible.
All right.
So, yeah, had a budget of 51, made 149.
Okay, so a hit for Jim still. The Farrelly brothers must be like, phew, we made our worst film and we still turned a profit. Go us. And then they high-fived and then like an explosion happened in the background or something.
Yeah.
Oh, did we get was the police colonel in this movie the bonus sheriff they got for the Twin Peaks The Return?
Robert Forster? How rude. How rude of you. He's a great actor. We lost him a while ago.
Nailed it.
The bonus sheriff in Twin Peaks Return. Yeah, because they couldn't get back...
Yeah, the other guy didn't want to come back.
Yeah, he was retired.
He was retired and he was sticking to his guns.
Not many people do. Gotta admire it.
So I remember some people getting kind of annoyed, like, dude, just come back and do the fucking... But in my mind, I go like, it's a very strong choice.
He's tired.
Yeah.
Let him rest.
I was upset I didn't like this movie because I'm like, oh, we kind of sometimes we get peaks of like Lacca versus Vic Ferrari. And I'm like, I should be like all for this. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I'm glad that a turf management master's degree isn't real because I was really annoyed by that. I'm like, what stupid fucking crap we're giving out these fucking degrees. What the F? No, it's okay. It was made up, so it's fine.
Yeah, the 2007 remake of The Heartbreak Kid. I just remember seeing trailers for that movie. How did it make that much money?
Yeah, I don't remember anything about that movie. I don't remember hearing about it. Don't remember Ben Stiller doing it.
It just, yeah.
Maybe it's because that was like Ben Stiller's heyday and like all of his movie trailers started blending together.
Well, that's the thing. I was so into Stiller at that time, and then I saw that trailer and I was like, I guess I'm not watching any more Stiller movies.
Yeah.
Just I'm done.
All right. Well, I got a little Drew Carey music licensing watch.
Hell yeah.
Moon over Parma, bring my love to me tonight. Guide her to East.
All right. A couple episodes because it's been a bit. Drew Carey having trouble sleeping because he has this breakup with this woman, and his friends are trying to help him sleep, but he's been up for like 3 days making model airplanes. How do they get him to sleep? Well, in the original show, they sing him the Burger King jingle, commercial jingle.
Oh.
And also the Campbell Soup song from a commercial that hasn't aired in like 40 years. What do they do in this new episode? Well, nothing. You can't dub them singing because they're singing it live. They just cut away suddenly. They just abruptly go to the credits, and I went, that feels wrong. So I went back to the archives and I checked my clips. And sure enough, there was indeed that great scene. And it goes on for like a minute and a half. It's a really good bit.
So these episodes are just like really torn apart.
It's unfortunate. The next one is in the Drew Carey's first Catch All the Mistakes episodes. They did a contest for a number of years in the middle where they would purposefully have mistakes. You would write in a piece of paper and mail it to ABC.
We love
and
it.
if you caught the most of them, you would win. Or actually, it ended up being some pretty good prizes over the years. So anyway, one, Plex gets rid of the fun little pop-up bubbles to let you know where all the mistakes are, which was an odd... I don't think I've seen it like that. Certainly not this episode, but later episodes, I probably haven't seen those since they aired. It was kind of an odd experience. This one opens up with the Alfred Hitchcock Presents setup, where it's like the outline of him, and then Drew Carey walks in, and they used to have the Alfred Hitchcock Presents music. Now they don't have it, and it's just like some generics. So I don't even think they went for like a creepy... And by the way, that song I think is like royalty free anyway. Like maybe not that specific particular version. It's like Hall of the Mountain King or something. Like it's not. I don't think it was like a made for his show. I could be wrong. You could write the cast at whathappenedtothem@gmail.com if I'm mistaken on that. And then lastly, now Drew's trying to impress a new woman I almost got for one of my films. If we were able to get our schedules to align, I was very excited, mostly because I wanted to talk to her about being in the Drew Carey show. Anyway. No, she was good. She was a
How
good
many
actor.
episodes was she in the Drew Carey show?
She was in maybe like 10 to 12 of them.
Okay, then that's
They set
that's
her up
normal.
here near the end of season 3. They bring her for about half of season 4, and then they have to write her off in a couple episodes of season 5.
Okay, so she was recurring.
Yeah, she was. She was a bigger character in the show. And she was on it regularly around the time I started watching it. So in my mind, she was always like a core thing of the show. Anyway, he's trying to woo her, so he puts on some swing music, because it was the mid-90s and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy was everywhere. And but it's different swing music than what I'm used to. And then the joke is like, oh no, stupid swing music. I should have put on reggae. And then it's different reggae music than was originally posed. Those ones, though, were fine enough. He dances to them, so the rhythm's a little off in his dancing, but overall, not as noticeable if you're not a crazy person like me. An easier one to get away with. So there you go. That's our update for now. Stay tuned. There are many seasons of The Drew Carey Show left. All right. You got any last looks on Me, Myself, and Irene?
Last looks on this one. No. I don't have any this week. You got any last looks?
You watched it prior. You owned it. Did you like it then and don't like it now?
No, I don't think I liked it when I saw it either. That's why I've never watched it until now. I was like, it was a dud for me. It's fine. It's not a dud. It's fine. There's definitely worse movies.
Why does Drew Carey do this movie? Well, he's worked with the Farelly brothers before, and they did well by him then. I imagine they met his fee. He got to do kind of a character thing. Like, this is what's nice, I guess, is Adam Sandler kind of got out of his character phase a little earlier than I would have liked, and Jim Carrey seems to be trying to stick with it for at least an amount of time.
My friend, this has only been 4 years. Maybe 5 years.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's the difference, right? Is that Jim Carrey had 10 years of nothing before his version of Happy Gilmore, so to speak.
We could even say 15.
Jim Carrey had 15 years of
close to 15.
Shecky Moskowitz's and
Shecky Moskowitz, yeah.
going overboard.
Not even and a couple of Airheads in there.
Yeah,
because he had like Earth Girls and stuff like that.
So perhaps in my mind my timeline is off. So okay, I won't go that far then.
Family, sex hours, and all that.
Yes. I won't go that far yet because there's still a lot of Jim Carrey's career to go through to get to that Adam Sandler straight man phase that Jim might find. I don't know. We will see. Makes sense to me why he would do this movie.
He's not even the first choice.
I know. Hope they didn't tell him that.
Hey, we went to Jack, but yeah, he's big king shit around here now. You gonna step in, Jim? You do us a favor, Jim. We did you a favor.
Jim, you don't need this movie. Jack needs the movie. He didn't want the movie. That's his loss. Of course we want you.
Do you know what he did instead?
No.
High Fidelity.
I don't know. Would you want to be in a memorably bad movie or a forgettable movie if you were an actor? Like, what would you prefer?
All I hear about that movie, which I've only seen once about 25 years ago, was that's like the movie that made Jack like the hot commodity that he is.
Okay.
He's the one that pops really hard in that.
Oh yeah, it was that era, and he was like a secondary in a lot of movies, like
he was just like popping up as like a best friend character and stuff.
Saving Silverman, something like that.
Saving Silverman's are right around this time. I think that's 2001 or 2.
The second, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and he's like a Rastafarian.
Wait, he's in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah, he's like some Caribbean islander guy, and he's
Jack, no.
Yeah, and he's got an accent, and you're like, what?
Oh, I see it. Oh, wow. That was 98.
Yes, some of the worst casting.
I don't know who survived I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I actually don't think it was anybody.
Well, Freddie and J-Lo.
The movie ends...
Jack Black is uncredited. His name is Titus Telesco.
That movie ends implying that the guy comes and kills them both. But I guess if you could have them escape if you wanted to make more, as you usually do.
Yeah.
As you want to run that thing into the ground. Okay.
Did you know they're bringing that movie back?
What? Yeah, why not?
It's getting a legacy sequel.
I Still Know What You Grammed Last Summer.
Because someone took an Instagram of it or something?
Yeah, well, yeah. They saw it and they posted on Instagram. I don't know, man. That's all fucking stupid shit. Doesn't matter.
I gave the first one 1.5 stars. Wow, they got a fast turnaround. It was a year turnaround from I Know to I Still Know.
That explains why it was so poorly made and ill thought out. All right, yes, we've stopped talking about Me, Myself, Irene long ago, so we'll sign off. We'll thank Come Sly With Me I hear it's going to be perfectly adequate, so check it out on TLC, a place where you used to learn things. And I'd like to thank Levin Rensselaer for minding those audio boards and keeping it sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank my co-host Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
Thank you.
And I am your host, Patrick Scale. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
Finished going through my canceled sitcom Committed. It's only 13 episodes. It's very easy. But
right.
I played a fun game today where I was like, oh, I don't think these episodes were aired in order. Surprise, surprise.
Of course.
A network over tinkers with a sitcom they don't believe in. So I was playing the fun game. Like, all right, maybe this should go here. And I was thinking of the reasons why. And I'm like, maybe I'll start a blog about this show no one's thought about in 21 years. That would be kind of cool. But then I moved on to my next canceled sitcom. Perhaps you remember the 2002 gem AUSA.
Is that what the title is? AUSA?
Yeah, it's about assistant U.S.
Never
attorneys.
heard of that.
You remember all 8 episodes of AUSA?
Wow. It got 8.
It got 8 full
It
episodes.
made it to 8.
Starring the blonde lady from a later canceled sitcom, Man Up, and that guy with the funny voice sometimes is on The Big Bang Theory, and a bunch of other people you haven't heard of.
The guy with the funny voice that's on The Big Bang Theory.
He's not always on it.
He's like the nerd who goes to the comic book shop and like antagonizes them, right?
I don't remember him going to the comic shop, but maybe. He
No.
just reminds. He's got like the Cindy Brady lisp.
All right.
You know, like, I'm sure our listeners do. Anyway, that show not as great.
Yeah. Sounds like it, made peace with its history.
It's fun enough to find somebody having collected all 8 of them on YouTube. Thank you, that person. Knock It Off, I think was their name. I'll check. They apparently have a smorgasbord of forgotten, canceled sitcoms. But Committed, as close as perfect to a canceled sitcom can get. Like, it's a complete package. It has a great pilot. It ends in a reasonable way, perhaps knowing it wasn't coming back. Who's to say? That's what I got for my canceled sitcom review. You watched any canceled sitcoms recently, Joe?
I can't say I have.
What?
Meanwhile, while you're watching canceled sitcoms, what did I watch? So I'm gonna watch every single Gene Hackman movie this year. That's what I'm doing.
I thought you've already done that. Didn't you do that last
No,
year?
I only watched 40. I didn't watch all of them. I watched 35 new Gene Hackman movies that year. I need to watch all of them. There's like 80 or 90 of them.
I'm glad we're not doing that season. My God.
No, it's not 90. It's more
90.
like it's like almost the same thing as Jack's. Maybe even less, because he stopped working earlier and he started working later and he stopped working earlier. And he didn't do all of the fucking things that Jack did with like all the motorcycle movies.
Not to schlep around in Cormanville.
No, yeah, he was just like, hey, I'm in Bonnie and Clyde. Oh, I'm in The French Connection. Oh, I won my Oscar. Cool. Oh, I'm Gene Hackman already.
Did police ever be like, whatever's going on with that weird situation?
Oh, yeah. So he had, what is it? Alzheimer's. And his wife had this kind of like cold sickness that just kind of got to her. And she died first in her bedroom, but she was the main caretaker for him. And since he had Alzheimer's, he was really far down the hole. His dog was found in the cage dead because of probably of starvation. And apparently he was just wandering around his house for a week until he died because he fell over. He couldn't get up. And it's really fucking sad and it's really depressing and it just sucks.
Yeah, where's that version of Still Alice?
God. That is rough. I don't want to watch that. That would be way too depressing. I don't want to get invested in anything like that.
The Welcome to Mooseport money isn't able to afford some household care.
The Welcome to Mooseport money? Really?
You feel like these are people that could afford a nurse to come in every day or some such.
You know, he like retired and then became like a writer, right?
No,
he wrote for like 15 years after that. Like,
what did he write? Bad mystery novels?
I don't know what he wrote, but he was doing writing and all sorts of stuff.
Wrote, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like funny articles for the New Yorker. What's he writing? What is this writing he's doing? Where's the IMDb of writing?
This is Gene Hackman's. It's his take on the Snyder cut of Justice League. He became a film critic. He's like, I gotta get my take on this.
He's like, I've left Hollywood, but God, they need me now more than ever.
They kind of do.
Yeah.
No, I went back and I watched some of my faves: Conversation, Night Moves, Royal Tenenbaums, Hoosiers. And then I took a trip down Heartbreakers Alley. Have you heard of Heartbreakers?
Yes, from you on this podcast. I'm sure our listeners are also familiar.
Wait, you've seen this?
I've not seen it. You have just talked about it at length on this very podcast.
Since when?
Joe. Whenever you watched it.
I've never seen it.
What do you mean you've never seen it? Why are you talking about it so much then?
Well, because I watched it for the first time. What was it? The 11th. That's when I finished
Not now. I'm talking about in the past. We got to go through the archives.
I've never seen it. You're thinking of something else. I've never seen Heartbreakers.
Was there another movie that sounds like Heartbreakers?
Possibly.
Maybe Al Pacino was in, because that was another guy you went through all the movies of quite a bit.
Yeah. Probably Pacino, but I've never seen Heartbreakers. Heartbreakers is a David Merkin film. A man of two films. David Merkin, what a strange... Okay, so he directed Heartbreakers, and then he directed Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion. But he's credited writer on The Simpsons movie. I'm sure there's plenty of other writers that were also credited. But he also is credited on 3 of the Simpsons Disney short crossovers.
Most not great.
The Longest Daycare.
That one's all right.
When Billie Eilish Met Lisa, and May the 12th Be With You.
The Billie Eilish one, I don't even think needs a writer. They sing a song. I'm confused.
It's 4 minutes.
What would you get paid for that? Like $20? An odd career this David Gherkin has had.
He's not even the fucking only. There's 4 writers credited for each minute. There's a credited writer.
They have to spread the wealth, Disney.
Anyways,
Plus not
Heartbreakers is a piece of shit movie, and I think it's really dog shit. But I will say, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I remember her.
Wow, she looks great.
Yes. A good takeaway.
Sigourney Weaver's in it. She does this horrible Russian accent, and I know it's supposed to be bad, but it's so grating, and I'm just like, can this end? And then she has to sing a fucking song in her Russian accent, and it goes on for like 4 minutes, and I'm like, end this now before I poke my eyes out.
Gene Hackman been in any canceled sitcoms, you think?
I don't think Gene was a real big TV guy.
Nah, it's fine. We'll just start the show, I guess.
Well, I just want to also mention there's Anne Bancroft, Ray Liotta, Jason Lee, Zach Galifianakis, Nora Dunn, Jeffrey Jones, Sarah Silverman, Carrie Fisher, Kevin Nealon, also in this movie.
Truly a film of its era, featuring Gene Hackman as well.
Absolutely. And Gene Hackman, I thought they were going to do a fucking Weekend at Bernie's thing to him because he dies like a half hour, 40 minutes before the movie ends. And I was pissed because he doesn't come in for for the first half hour. And I'm like, what are we doing with this guy?
Yeah.
What is this? And he's on the poster. And he's like the main plot point. And then it's just like, nah, this movie's really about the mother-daughter relationship. And I'm like,
listen, we've seen a lot of that with Jack Nicholson. And we're like, where's Jack? Where did Jack go?
It was just a bummer. I did not like that movie. I still give it 2 stars because I like Gene and
Jesus.
J-Love.
Oh, you do you? Suddenly you like J-Love now?
No, she's great. No, I've always been a fan. No.
Always?
Always been a fan.
When's the last time you actually thought about Jennifer Love Hewitt? 15 years ago? 20 years ago? When did she last enter your
Definitely
mind?
25 years ago. But yeah, no, I'm just like A+, cool.
Okay. Out on Jennifer Love's giant breasts, I will take a drink of water.
Excuse me, I didn't say any of that. I was very respectful.
Yeah,
I said she looks great. That's all I said. What? A container of water. That is incredible.
I gotta drink 4 liters a day, Joe.
Hell yeah. All right, let's break this puppy into pieces.